feel like we should be doing the drum roll. Here we are in your final room, your spiritually fit room, with, of course, our overarching theme, that being leadership stress signals. Are you spotting you or your team's stress signals before it's too late? So let's think about some of, again, the uncommon signals that your team may be letting you know. It could be that lack of enthusiasm. Where before a new project comes to their plate, they'd be all full of energy and passion, but it's just not there. It's just not there. It almost like sinks. The idea comes in and boom, sinks to the bottom of the pool. Sometimes, for example, it could be a sign that there's not enough joy in your culture. People are so busy kind of on that stress treadmill that there's not that opportunity to celebrate their successes or their wins, as I refer to it. Another for sure is a cynicism, and that's really a big one we have to keep an eye on as leaders. Is there a pessimism or a cynicism with regards to, the work that they're doing, the projects that they're on? So if they're keep focusing on what's wrong, for example, and that's not common, then it's important, or even if it is common, it's probably more of a problem, but it's really important that you address that. So how do you address that? Well, part of it is, again, that open communication that I've always talked about, I think is number one. I think another is that we need to really be having those heartfelt talks. I'm a huge fan of getting people back to why they do what they do. So whether it is a leadership mission statement, whether it is an opportunity within that team or staff meeting or that retreat that you book, that there's a chance for them to have their peers comment about and write it down of the things they really value about them and appreciate about them. It's just so easy to kind of be next to each other, whether it's in cubicles or offices or, in the squares, on Zoom or Teams. And it's so easy to forget telling someone, this is what I really appreciate about you. I appreciate the fact that you're so good at de-escalating things. I appreciate that you have your hand up and you're so willing to ask questions. I appreciate when you make a mistake, you don't seem to take it personal, and I'm trying so hard to learn from you. I appreciate that, as an introvert, you're more outspoken than I am, those kinds of things. And so it's important that we're intentional as leaders, that we create exercises, whether it be in the team meeting, in the supervision, whether it's in that team retreat, to really insulate them with some tools that are going to support them. Because, when you start to see that the joy and the enthusiasm is being zapped out of them, they're saying they're fatigued. They're overwhelmed. And if we don't pay attention to that, I work with so many senior leaders that keep dropping in new projects, expecting full well that their team is going to deliver when they haven't done that walkabout, as I talk about, to look around to see what the status quo is or what sort of the pulse is. And if people have got health issues or family issues or addiction issues or financial issues, and some of that, by the way, you'll never know, it will show up in behavior or physical ailments. So it's important that we go with the pace and we meet our team where they're at versus keep expecting more and more and more, because that creates a pressure cooker of stress for all. So have yourself a beautiful day. Remember, you are a powerhouse.